All right. Today, I'm sitting down with Jen Eastridge, who is someone who's contributed to the beginning of my career as an artist. I have so much gratitude for the opportunity to have been in the exhibition that you invited me to for printmakers making the cut.
Yes.
My first exhibition as an adult as a true artist.
Amazing.
So that was an incredible opportunity. Jen Eastridge is business owner of Unicorn Feed and Supply, and she had a gallery at Stone and Spoon, gallery at Stone and Spoon.
Yeah.
And I just feel so grateful to have her with us today. She curated the show Joy here at Design House.
Yes.
We'll talk about that as well. But first, how are you doing?
Oh, hi. Thank you. I am good. Thank you for asking me to be on your podcast.
Yeah.
That's very exciting.
Of course.
And I'm so grateful to be invited to do this and to have yet another really engaging creative space that you've really cultivated here at Design House to curate shows, but also to come to figure drawing classes and to just really thoroughly enjoy all the different elements that you've created here. So, I'm great. Thank you. I mean, considering the world right now, we're getting through together through art.
Yeah. We need each other and we need art.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yes, I was just in a conversation this morning with a friend who we both share that very much, that art is what's going to help us get through this. You know, it truly is what will pull us through. Whether it is us making the art and protesting through art, resisting through art, finding joy through art, and or supporting one another with our art, that is how we're going to get through this really difficult time where so many are under attack.
1000%. And sometimes it's difficult as an artist. Personally, I don't know if you've ever experienced this. Sometimes I feel a sense of guilt creating art in difficult times or wanting to share my art, although it brings me joy and it's a form of processing. Am I allowed to share this art and am I allowed to share this joy when the world is such a chaotic place, an unfair place right now? And so as an artist, it sounds like, art, we need it.
We need it more than ever. We really need it. And we need to unlearn the devaluation of what art is and the value that it holds in the world and in our societies. You know, we really need to relearn what art is about and the power that it holds and how it reflects the world around us.
Yes. Well, we'll get back to this topic of joy.
Okay.
I was
Yes,
curious if you could. I recall when you opened Unicorn Feed and Supply, that beautiful unicorn in your shop, and the naming of the unicorn, and how much joy all of that brought us here in Ypsilanti.
Thank you.
And then you opened Stone and Spoon. And then you opened Gallery at Stone and Spoon.
I was on a roll.
Walk us through that, that opening of the gallery space, and where was that born in the process of your creative journey?
Well, truly, Unicorn Feed and Supply was like a creative epiphany that absolutely had to happen. Yes. And it was like, driving a freight train to its destiny. And that was truly an act of joy, and still is a business that's all about joy, that's online. And then I realized that, that creative, joyful, kind of whimsical element of helping people feel love and be loved in a space and know that they can come together in a space where they can feel safe. That's so important to me. And I wanted to grow that in more ways. And I also have deep love for home and a sense of place. And uh, that's a big part of what Stone and Spoon became as a home kitchen garden shop. It was very inspired by my mom, who taught me what it was to create a safe space and how to cultivate love and warmth in a space through food and through working with the earth and gathering, so that's really a big part of what Stone and Spoon was about. And then that actually was open. Stone and Spoon was opened in 2020 because I signed the lease 2 weeks before COVID shutdown happened. So it was like, well, I guess we're doing this.
Yeah.
I guess we're opening a second shop in COVID.
Wow,
So,
I didn't realize that.
and yeah. And so, I went about it joyfully and with love and, really tried to, again, cultivate another space where people could come in and feel belonging and representation.
Yes.
And intentionality. And a year later, as I was seeing, because really, Unicorn Feed and Supply and Stone and Spoon were both primarily retail spaces that worked with and collaborated with makers and artists and all these things, still primarily retail. And as the world of retail was significantly shifting, I was very aware that the global paradigm of how people acquire things and how people shop was forever changed. And I needed to think about other ways to generate revenue. And I had a beautiful second story over the shop that I was using for workshops.
Right.
And also for staff meetings. And I was literally just sitting there looking around one day, and I thought, what is it? What does this need? And what does Ypsilanti need more of? And that's always something I've always tried to be very aware of, what do we need to become a space that is more flavorful and that can fill more cups. And I looked at the walls and the lighting there was beautiful. I thought, oh my God. I mean, and that's what my degree is in, It was like, it hit me over the head like a brick bat. It was like, oh my gosh, the walls, this is supposed to be a gallery. This is perfect for a gallery. And once that struck me, it was absolutely going to happen.
Yeah.
It had to happen. And so I literally just kind of got into the groove of, okay, we're going to create a gallery. This is a way that not only I can create another revenue stream, but also I can do something that I'm super passionate about, which is creating space for local artists and allowing them to take that leap, that opportunity, and to meet with local artists like you, and to talk about your journey and where you're at in the journey. And how do you feel about the next steps? And how can I help you make those next steps? And to really give someone a launch pad and a platform to put their artwork out there and then continue on from there. And that was my goal, whether it was in the gallery or with my employees in the shops, is, my goal is that you come here, you find a place of belonging and a safe space, and you add emotional and physical and, psychological tools. You create your toolbox and you enrich that, and then you move forward. You keep growing. You go forward. So
that's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for all of that you've done for our community. You've done so much to make room for artists and our voices. And, I recall so many people telling me that they're familiar with my work because they've seen it at Stone and Spoon.
Yeah, we sold your work, not only in the gallery, but we sold your prints and your stickers.
Yeah, that means so much.
It was very...
okay,
thanks. Yeah.
Just in case. I'm standing by.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
It's been so meaningful. And I was talking to Megan too. You not only had her first exhibition in that space, not her first exhibition, but
Her first solo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I
It
didn't.
was, yeah,
I
it was
wasn't
her
aware.
first solo exhibition. Yeah.
I might actually use one of these for my notes. I feel.
She was actually the first show in the gallery at Stone and Spoon.
Exactly. And, she has an immense amount of gratitude for that. And what else did you do? You encouraged Megan to make the leap and open Ipsy Art Supply.
That's right.
And what an incredible space. I'm so grateful for that. I can walk down the street and buy my printmaking supplies. I don't have to drive to Dearborn every time.
Right. Yeah.
Which is, it's fine. But
having that accessibility,
yes.
and again, just having somebody to say, I got your back. You got this. You have the skills. You have the experience. You have the expertise. And you have the dream.
Yeah.
That's yours.
Exactly.
That's not for anybody else to take. That's yours. And I'm so glad that that helped kind of encourage her to open and to now expand. Holy smokes.
Oh my goodness.
So excited.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that expansion.
Yeah,
busting down some walls and
yes.
having workshops there as well for artists. And
just continuing to grow Ypsilanti as a space that nurtures creatives.
Yes.
And just activates that expression through art.
And there's a need for that. There's a need for making room for artists. And I think it can be seen sometimes as competition. But if there's more than one space for these things, it means that they're successful, they're needed.
Yes.
And I really appreciate it too, because I host artists here for various workshops, and they reach out to me, and artists need options. They need choices as to where they might teach.
Yeah, and not every space works for whatever it is that they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. So I
or
really
can
value
hold
that.
the group of people. And,
Exactly.
there's
and
so
rates,
many things.
as an artist, like you might want to seek a different rate, especially if you're offering scholarships or discounted courses. And there's a lot of decisions in running any sort of workshop. So
being an artist, first, and pricing one's own work.
Oh my gosh.
The hardest job in the world.
Yeah, it's so hard. Ask for help.
Yeah.
We will help you.
We will help you. Yeah. In fact, that's something that I strongly believe in, and you and I have talked about it. Raise your prices, understand that, yes, you want to make it accessible, and there are still ways to do that while holding value in your work.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. But it's way easier for me to price other people's work than it is my own.
I get it as well. You're an artist too. What do you like to do?
Yes. Oh my gosh, so many things. That's always been my answer. Different mediums fill different parts of my creative spirit, I feel. So I love working in watercolor. Went into art school as realism watercolor, which was interesting because then, of course, as one does in art school, changing majors. And then ended up going over to sculpture. When I was really able to work in 3D, I grabbed onto that. I really have a deep, profound love of working with found objects. Yeah. And that includes fallen trees. And so I did a lot of work with chainsaws and chisels and things like that. Okay. And showed at, Crone Conservatory in Cincinnati and different places. But then ended up with a degree in museum studies and art history. So my mediums that I worked with go across the board from, painting. I still love painting in watercolor. I actually have been doing more abstract with watercolor, just experimental work with, watercolor on different surfaces. And that's been really fantastic and fascinating. It's also been a really good way to loosen me up because
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a control freak, as I've told you.
You can't control watercolor, in my opinion. It's pretty
Exactly.
difficult.
It is. And that was probably why I loved it as much for
Yeah.
realism, because I was so controlling of it
Ah,
to begin. You know, I
okay.
really like grabbed onto
makes
that
sense.
control. But now in my 50s, it's helping me
Wow.
let myself let go of control a little bit. And then for years, and I still do metal smithing with a lot of copper and argentium silver, which is a high percentage of argentium is a recycled silver. So it's kind of a neat newer form of silver that people are using that's purer and brighter.
Okay.
And, but anyway, so many.
Yeah, all the mediums.
Yeah, I always feel guilty saying like, well, I really like to do this, but I really like to do that too. But like I said, it's kind of like working, you know, what if you love to draw, you know, whether you're going to use a pencil that day or whether you're going to use an ink.
I know.
You're going to use a brush, you're going to use a, you know, carving tool. What are you going to do?
Exactly. It's good to have options.
It's good to have options. And I actually think that those are the facets that make us that creative spirit, you know?
Yeah.
And I always talk to people who, you know, kind of, they struggle with the fact that they're, you know, drawn in so many directions.
Oh, yeah.
And I would say this, you know, for people through careers, through certain paths in life, you know, we become drawn in so many directions all at once. And I don't feel like that is a bad thing.
No.
You know, I think that it's okay to enjoy a lot of different things as long as you're finding joy in that. You know, when you're struggling with something and it's not bringing you joy or it's not lifting you up in any way, or you feel like you're really forcing it or knocking your head against the wall, then maybe it's time to reevaluate.
Totally.
Not that we're not going to do that, because that happens no matter what through life.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like try the different mediums.
Yes.
That's how I found my love of sculpture, because I ebbed away. You know, I set down the paintbrush for a hot second and, you know, started picking up some leather and some rope and wire and found objects. And, you know, it just opened up a whole new world to me.
Yeah, I love that. I rediscovered printmaking in 2019. And I haven't been able to stop.
Isn't that wonderful, though?
Yeah, but I have also begun painting, but in the printmaker style that I've developed.
Yeah.
So,
and that's really a gift, because you have a very recognizable style. And I feel like that is something that is not something that everyone can necessarily say that they have a recognizable style.
It takes time.
It takes time.
I had to draw every day for I would say at least a year. I drew every day to really figure out what style I wanted.
Right.
Yeah.
And, you know, oftentimes I felt like, you know, my styles were different depending on what medium I was working with, just because, you know, if I'm working with found beach stones and metal, it's definitely going to have a different stylistic feeling and look than, you know, an abstract watercolor. So.
And you're allowed to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We don't need to put restrictions and rules around creativity.
Right.
If you're creating something and it brings you joy, that really matters.
Yeah.
So,
and, you know, sometimes it feels risky, but if you're willing and able to make the mistakes, make the mistakes.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah, make bad art.
Right. Yeah.
Because it will inform you as to what you want to do. And
that's right.
No art is really bad. I mean, maybe we don't like it, but we can learn from it.
Exactly. Same, you know, if you take a job and you're like, whoa, no. That is powerful. Knowing what you don't want to do is as important, and maybe sometimes more important than knowing what you do want to do.
Absolutely. Yeah. This is not for me.
Yeah, exactly.
You should know.
Yeah, we're going to keep moving. Yeah.
You should know. Yeah. Well, we have our Joy exhibition here.
Yes.
Featuring 29 artists, I believe, all from the surrounding community. Not necessarily just Ypsilanti, but surrounding community.
Right.
And there's so many different mediums, speaking of different mediums, and exploring that idea of joy. So what to you do you feel with curating this new show, um, how has that made room for you to bring a little more joy back into what you used to do?
Mm, I feel like, well, this particular show and the subject of joy in general really grounds me,
Mm-hmm.
because, Unicorn Feed and Supply was really founded on the idea of
Yeah.
joy and sparking joy.
Yeah.
And so, artwork that is intended
Mm-hmm.
to revolve around the different artists' interpretations of
Yes.
their version of joy, and very eclectic.
Yes. Yes.
Very eclectic
I love it.
representations. Me too. That was just so reassuring
Mm.
that people were still making art, with joy
Mm-hmm.
being a central idea, and still expressing joy and sharing it with the world and being willing to
Mm-hmm.
put it out there and share it
Yeah.
and to inspire others to feel it as well.
Hmm.
I just feel really strongly that, again, it's something that is more critical now than ever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it was the beginning of the year when you asked me. It
Mm-hmm.
was last year, and we talked about,
Mm-hmm.
holy
Yeah.
cow, what time of year do we really need that?
Extra.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
light.
Yeah.
Where do we need that? And of course, it's necessary all year long.
Oh, yes.
Yes. But the cold and the dark sometimes feel like it's descending upon us a
Mm-hmm.
bit more after the new year.
Yes.
There's so much hype around the holiday time
Mm-hmm.
and energy. And then
Yeah.
there is an interesting, I don't want to say fallout, but
Yeah.
just darkness, sometimes
Yeah.
literally as well, getting dark so early, etc. So just
Yeah.
the idea of joy and inserting that was something that I felt really good about. So,
Yeah. Thank you so
yeah,
much for
thank you for asking.
curating the show.
Oh my goodness. It's been a
What
pleasure.
are some of
Truly.
the pieces in particular? I know we can't talk about all of them.
I
There's
know.
so
They're
many
so
pieces.
good. There
but,
are.
what really sparked joy in you?
You know, gosh. So some of these artists I have seen their
Yeah.
work developing over
Yeah.
a matter of years. Not only yours, which is amazing, and I
Thank
love
you.
that so much. It's very special to me to see artists
Yeah.
grow in their work
Totally.
and to get braver and braver.
Yes.
And but so some of the work in this show that really sparks joy for me. I'll just give you some examples. A new artist that I, has been making work for some time, but whose work I hadn't had an opportunity to
Yeah.
interact with, is Joel's work.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So this piece happens to be a beautiful, large, plush, soft sculpture
Yep.
that is interactive. And when I was reviewing these submissions, it was the one that made me laugh out loud.
Yes.
And so that immediately was just like the best.
Yeah, we need that.
Right.
Yeah.
So much so. And it also, because it was such an authentic kind of guffaw laugh,
Yeah.
when I opened it, I thought, oh my gosh, yes, I can't wait for other people to have this same interaction with that. And then there are pieces that just have like color. Big
yes.
color, joy through color. Shannon
Absolutely.
Johnson's artwork that is
Yeah.
in the show, the disco ball piece and the
Yeah.
heron, the glow of the heron piece that you really enjoyed
It's pretty.
too. It's beautiful. It's joyful. It's fresh.
Yes.
And that's really a nice element about a lot of the work that's in the show too, is it's very fresh to me.
Yeah.
A lot of the work is kind of new. I haven't seen some of this work before. I haven't seen some of these styles before, or it's been a minute since I've,
Yeah.
encountered an artist, in the area doing three-dimensional paper cut work.
Oh, yeah.
Like Asher's work. That is beautiful. We
Yeah.
have quilted the fiber arts work,
Yeah.
by Julie and Lou. I'm just using first names here because I
I
encourage
know.
everybody to come and see
Yes.
the show. So
Yes,
I'm just
absolutely.
I'm gonna leave it at that on just the first names here. But and then the three-dimensional work. I mean, I know I talked about Joel's a 3D piece, but another artist who is newer to the experience of putting their work out there is Maisie.
Oh
And
yeah, really?
yes,
Oh wow.
if you can believe
I
that.
didn't know.
And I will tell you that I didn't know. I
Ah.
actually, I just found out, I actually bought a piece of sculpture from Maisie at a show, like an artisan, a smaller artisan show,
Mm.
and had this amazing conversation with her and was talking about this piece that I bought. He's beautiful. It's a little raccoon named
Aw.
Wally, and
Aw.
yeah, he's gorgeous, and I'm a huge animal lover, and so immediately I was hooked. And
Aw.
I didn't realize that that was the first large piece that she had
Oh really?
ever sold, like
Cool.
really putting her work out there for
Mm-hmm.
other people. You know, she'd been working in ceramics,
Aw.
and now, you know, in this exhibition, there are these amazing pieces
Yeah.
that are going to be photographed and integrated into a series of books that she's
Amazing.
creating.
I know. I
Yeah.
can't wait to learn more about that.
Me too.
Yeah.
And so stories prompting
Mm-hmm.
work, you know, it's really these steps, you know, these
Yes.
ladder rungs that we climb that just lead to all these
I
amazing
know.
places.
Oh.
And so seeing the artists take the work and then the artwork that's the really environmentally interactive artwork like
Mm-hmm.
Brittany's work.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
with the water from Ford Lake.
Yeah.
Just fascinating and beautiful.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Gosh, so clearly I could talk about every single artist
Yeah.
and what makes them special
Absolutely.
and why I wanted them to be in this show. Gosh, Amelia's piece, as soon as you walk in, I know.
I know.
I know. You're just like, oh, I know. I hit a soft spot. Oh.
I know.
Yeah, because we
I
both have strong feelings about that
Amelia's
piece.
work is so beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, I want to thank you also with curating this show here at Design House. You invited a lot of artists that weren't familiar with the space.
Yes.
And so, like, Loren Magda came
Yay.
and has a piece.
Oh my gosh,
and
yes. And I'm so thrilled.
Yes, I haven't seen Loren in so long, not since she exhibited with you.
Yeah, at the gallery.
Then I met her through Embracing Our Differences. We both had pieces in their first show. And, you know, just like, thank you so much for
gosh, of
doing
course.
that. And now more artists have learned about the space.
Yes.
And I must ask, how did you feel curating within a home since our gallery is on the ground floor? This is considered the ground floor, first floor. And within 3 rooms. How did that feel?
Yeah. The 3 rooms well, first of all, the home is beautiful.
Yeah.
So that was kind of exciting because it's like, oh my gosh, it's like I get to go into a home and do
It feels so
all
nice.
the walls. Yeah, exactly. It was different.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah.
You know, it is very different, challenging in ways. Yes. Good challenging.
Yeah.
I think. You know, the rail system is new for me. I'd never hung a show on the rail system before.
Okay.
So I was relieved not to have to do the math.
Yeah, I really love it.
So much math for traditional nail hanging and all that. But it also has challenges, you know, with smaller pieces.
Yeah.
So thinking about future shows that we'll talk about, actually, you know, I'm definitely going to be keeping that in mind, and also talking to and informing the artists about that and the spaces and how that can work well. But anyway, I'm sorry I digress.
No. I asked.
Yeah.
You're not digressing at all. In fact, you're leading into the next thing that we might share, and that's you're going to be curating 2 more shows this year. Can you tell us what shows you're curating?
Oh, yes, of course I can.
Yeah.
Happily. So the next show that I'll be curating for Design House will be in June, and it is the return of the Queer Show.
Yes.
And the Queer Show is very beloved to me and special, as that was a show that I did every year in the gallery at Stone and Spoon, and it developed a very rich following.
Yes.
Not in a monetary sense, but but we did
yes.
sell a lot of amazing work from those shows for the artists. However, the group of artists that came together and submitted work for those shows, and the depth of the artwork, and really the depth of emotion in that work, the bravery that came out through a lot of the work with the queer show was very moving. And I felt really special about that. I could go on about that.
So necessary.
Oh my gosh.
Right? To make room for that and allow artists to do those things.
Yeah. And again, safe is, a key word. Creating safe space for the work that allows people to create their authentic artwork.
Yeah.
Unapologetically. And to share that.
And for it to be celebrated.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
It's important.
Oh my gosh, so important. And, to really, again, providing the platform was an honor. For me, it was really a gift to me to see that come together.
Yes.
And so, and people looked forward to attending that exhibition every year. And so I am very excited. And it's cool because I've had not only artists, but other people come to me who heard, who caught wind of the fact that I would be doing that again.
Good
and
things.
they expressed such excitement over the fact that the queer show is going to happen again.
Yes.
And so happy. The call for art will be going out probably in April, so people can begin planning for that show. I've already kind of put the seed out there, planting the seeds in the artist's mind,
Yes.
Keep that in mind. And then the other exhibition that you invited me so kindly to curate is another one that was so fun. We only did this show once at the Gallery at Stone and Spoon, and I am excited to do it again. It is called the Monumental. It is a concept that all of the artwork has to be under 2 by 2 by 2 inches. If it's 3D or not, under that 2-inch mark, not including the frames.
Yes.
But,
right.
Just to let people know.
I was just going to clarify. Can it be
the
framed?
artwork itself, must be under 2 by 2 by 2. And it was a show that we had at my art school every year.
Yeah.
The Monumental happened for the students, the faculty, and the alumni.
That's cool.
And so it was the annual show that everyone counted on, everyone looked forward to. And it was also really neat to be able to show with faculty and alumni as well. And so that was really special. And I think that it's a show that brings together so many different mediums and different styles. It's also a really interesting challenge. Because
we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna plan ahead.
100%. I feel like this is gonna be a really fun challenge for you.
Problem solving.
Exactly. Yeah, me too. Yeah. And so I think challenges are good. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be different again, to hang in a home versus the traditional gallery walls. But that show was the most well-attended exhibition that was ever at the gallery.
Cool.
And it was well over 300 pieces of artwork in that show. And I expect there to be more coming up.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I feel like there's a little more room.
And I think we're going to need to use as much of the room as possible for that, because there's such incredible potential and the momentum. I feel like we're creating momentum with the gallery here. Yeah. And with things like the podcast, we're talking about it, and we're spreading the word.
Yes.
And we're growing the creative spaces and the energy.
Absolutely.
That's a huge part.
Absolutely. Monumental was probably my favorite show. Yeah, I really enjoyed the challenge.
Good.
I wish I was still making tiny my carvings of ladies. However, I've transitioned into carving more for like this graphic memoir I'm working on. So it's in a sense tiny, but within boxes.
Right.
So I could maybe translate something. But I have time.
You got time.
We have time.
You got time.
That's
and
good
that
news.
will be that show will be at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So people can look for that call to art probably in the fall.
Yeah. Well, I feel as though we're wrapping up our time here. And I want to maybe leave you with a few thoughts or questions.
Okay.
We've covered so much.
Truly.
Yeah, I feel like we could just keep talking.
I know.
Absolutely.
Like, this is part one.
Yeah. The podcast is split into two. I actually have no awareness of time right now. We should probably hang a clock on the wall. But yeah. So thank you so much for like making room in your schedule, your life to be able to curate here for us. And I was just curious.
Thank you.
The theme and name of this new podcast we're beginning is titled Making Room. And I just want to ask you, like, what are you making room for right now for yourself in terms of art, joy? We already know you're making more room for giving artists these opportunities, curating these shows. And while you think about that, can I just say your wife's piece, maybe it was more than one, in the queer show, I think about it still to this day.
Which
like,
piece?
How,
The single line
I think
drawing?
about Duke's work all the time. Yeah, those lines.
The single line
I
drawing.
can't believe that whole piece, that huge piece, was just one single line. And I think about it all the time.
Oh, so do I. I get to look at it all the time. Because
Just for the record.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
So much joy.
Brilliant artist.
Yeah.
That's absolutely one of the things that just I fell for hard was that amazing, creative, artistic brain.
Yeah.
And blows
So
me away.
cool.
Continues to blow me away on the daily.
Love.
Yeah.
I hope to see Duke's work here.
Same.
Thank
Do you hear that, Duke?
Yes. By the way, Duke, I think about your art all the time.
She's got her eyes on you.
But yeah, what are you making room for?
I am making room for more curating work. I am making room for more peace and more time to think. I that might sound benign, but truly making time to breathe and think, more time to read. Some of the things that I don't do when I feel rushed. I want to make more room. And that also includes prioritizing my own creative work. So getting back into the studio and making room for my work.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I can't wait to show you. I can't wait to actually actively enter some of the calls for art this year.
Please. Yeah, we still have Matters of the Heart open. That call ends soon. I think January 20th, if I recall correctly. And we're celebrating cake with a show.
Frosted and Fabulous.
Frosted and Fabulous for March. We're having a cake carnival. Don't worry. We will eat cake, celebrate cake, and dress like cake.
I am here for all of that.
Yes.
Yes.
We need it. We need joy. And real quick, I want to just say I really admire that you're making time and making room to slow down.
Thank you.
Because that also allows for the creativity to emerge, right?
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, it's one thing that I have to do in order to reach that creative level. And actually, I will also say making room to travel.
Yeah.
Because that is critical for me.
I want to do that too.
Yeah. Travel is interesting. I heard someone, she's amazing. Her name is Patty Carpenter, and she's a color consultant for Pantone and for a French fashion house. And I got to see her speak. And she said something, it was during COVID. And so it was all via Zoom. You know, I was supposed to see her live. It didn't happen. But seeing her speak, she said one sentence, and it's so short, but it stuck with me. And I say this all the time to people, but it resonated so strongly with me. And she just said, travel is not trivial. And she said, you know, our globe was cultivated around travel
Mm.
and nomadic tribes and
Yeah. Yeah.
our culture, our foods, our colors, our art, our clothing is all revolving around the movement that we make around this earth.
Yeah.
And it is truly one of the times that my brain kind of unhinges and allows me to think on a creative plane. And I feel like my most authentic self
Yeah.
when I'm in that space.
I agree. I think it's like the brain is wired and you're used to certain habits or routines. And so you're, in a sense, not doing that normal wiring, and it
Right.
allows for that creativity
Absolutely.
to emerge.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I think that's really important for all of us to
Yeah.
find something that allows us to unhinge our
I love
brain
that.
and
Yeah.
to kind of have a fresh slate.
I agree. I'm hoping to do something myself traveling.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Good.
Yeah. Oh, thank
Thank
you
you
so
for
much,
having
Jen.
me. This has been so nice. Thank you. I appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah, it's been
Thank
fun.
you. Love.
Yeah, love back.